Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 2, Episode 249. I am on my way to my first casino. It is very early in the morning. It is very cold, 23 degrees, and I'm on my way here. I think it's going to be a cloudy day. The roads are a little damp, but not slippery. As of this point, I'm going to look at the roads ahead of me here in a minute and see what those are like, what those conditions are. Today, the goal is to get a lot of blackjack in, try to move the needle forward here, and try to catch up on our goal. We'll see how it goes. No work today, which is very good. Don't even have my laptop with me. One thing I'm going to try to do here, and I'm going to go into the second casino. I think that's where I can do this the best. I've got all the half dollars my son didn't use, about $300 worth, and I'm going to try to get those changed at one of the casinos to just regular cash. So I will probably ask at the first casino as well, but I think the second casino would be better for it. So that's what's going on right now. Yesterday was kind of a depressing day. I had such a good start in the morning and then gave some of it back in the afternoon, but that's just part of variance, especially since in the afternoon I actually made larger bets than I did in the morning, so it could have been a lot worse than that. So I don't really have much to share with you this morning, so letting you go for now, and I'll be back soon. Alright guys, I am back. Had an interesting visit there. I went in and just did my normal thing, looking around at all the machines I always do, making my normal rounds. And about halfway through, I'd only played one machine. I was up $93. And I see this other machine that I rarely play, only because even when it's in position, it's just so volatile. But I decided to go ahead and play it. Today, we were planning on going all out, doing everything possible, anything that's positive EV, even something that's more volatile. I decided I was going to play it today. So I played that at $1.50 a spin, about. And I went from being ahead. This guy's got a sign in front of me on his car saying, "Wife missing, won't stop looking till I find her." I don't know. And then he's got hair sticking out of his trunk, fake hair sticking out of his trunk. Anyway, all right, I don't know where I was going. Okay, so I went from being up 93 to, at my low point, being down $680, betting that small of an amount. And by the time I finished up on that machine, for the day, I was down $250. So aggravated, to say the least. I'm walking around looking at other things, playing something here, something there, just small stuff. And then I remember, I'd gone through everything. There was nothing else to play at that point. And I decided just to check on the status of if they take change or not, because I have all those half dollars in the car, right? So I thought, well, maybe if they take a lot of half dollars, if they take half dollars, I'll give them all mine, and I won't have to carry them around anymore, because I was planning on cashing them in at the next casino, not this one. But I figured the time it would take to do that would maybe, some machines would be in position again. I could make money again. So I went to the cashier and I asked if they took half dollars, and they said yes. So I went to the car and got the box, came back, cashed those out. That was $298 in half dollars that I cashed out, though we didn't need. And then I went back and started looking at stuff again, found another machine that was in position. Amazingly, it's one of these machines that's rarely in a good spot, but it was in a good spot on 3 different levels. And although they were all small denominations, I was able to make some money, and played one other play. I made like 125 on that. Played one other play, lost a few dollars on that, and ended up leaving minus 146. So minus 146 is a whole lot better than minus 700, but pretty far away from plus 93. And I feel bad, but I did earn a lot of points, and I am deficient in points at this place. I am in danger of losing my status if I don't get a lot of points here in the next 10 or 11 days. Now, I may hit this casino on my way back home. There is a $500 must-hit buy that's about $10 away from being profitable. So I saw someone playing it when I left, so maybe they'll continue to put some cash in there and pump it up, so when I come back I can take advantage of that and maybe play that through. So yeah, interesting, but unfortunate that happened. I could have walked in and out in 2 minutes and left with $93, but I'm doing everything I can to make money. So we're moving on to the next spot, and the next one I'm hoping to play a few slots and a lot of blackjack. So hopefully we can pick up 1,000 or more at that spot. So I'm going to let you go right now, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I am about 24 miles away from the next stop. I've been talking to a few advantage players online on my trip, and running way behind right now. I hate to be this far behind, but what are you going to do? We'll see how it goes. The key is making the money, right? So if I end up having to cut a casino out because I am at another one making money, then so be it. So we'll see what happens. Just an update, the temperature right now is 39 degrees, so I don't even need a coat right now, and it is sunny. It is only partly cloudy, so I'm very happy about that. So it'll be easier for me to get around. Alright, letting you go for now, and I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. I went into that place and looked at some slots and things and really didn't see much. I think I was ahead about $75 or $80 when I went to go play some blackjack, and I went and found a table to play at, sat down. I was the only one there. Actually, it was kind of funny because I was walking by the table. I was going to sit down, but I noticed that she was halfway through the shoe, and she had left it that way. As I stopped and then started again, I walked away. I heard the noise of the empty shoe, so I knew she had just emptied it out. So I came back around, and the dealer goes, she says, "See, I knew he wanted a new shoe." So I don't know, she probably did it by mistake and then used me as an excuse, but it almost sounds like she knew I would ask for one, but I don't think so. So anyway, I sit down there, I start playing, and it's going horribly right away. I'm down $500 in the first half of the first shoe, and I'm playing small time, not playing big money. And finally, another guy comes to the table, and I'm like, thank goodness, because right now I got a big negative count. I need someone to take these negative hands away from me. And he's like, no, I'm okay. I'll just wait till the end of the shoe. And I'm like, damn it. So finally, wait till the end of the shoe. I lose 200 or 300 more. And finally the next shoe starts. And then he's playing with me. We play a couple shoes together. I recover most of my money. And now at this point, I'm down about $100. And a third guy comes to the table right at the tail end of that shoe. And I said, I think I'm going to take a walk. I get up and I move over one table, which is empty. It's just the mentality, and just casinos are a place for people to gather and talk and all this stuff, and that has nothing to do with what I want to do. I want to make money. So you'll see a high limit area with 3 tables open, one table with 5 players, and the other 2 tables empty. And that happens so often. So I switched over to another table. I sat down there, things went a little bit better, played a couple shoes there, and finally decided that I'd been there long enough. It was time to go, and I ended up leaving ahead $612.50. I went back to some slots. I won a little, lost a little, and overall with the slots, I ended the session ahead $82. So plus 82 on slots, plus $612.50 on the blackjack, and they were actually filming in there. They were doing some kind of a commercial or something. They had signs everywhere that beware, we're filming, you're on camera. Like, I didn't know. I was already on 300 cameras, but they were doing some kind of a commercial for a craps table or something. I don't know, but yeah, I did everything that I could in there. It really wasn't much. It was really quiet in there, but played everything out. And right now I'm moving on to the next spot. And at this place, I expect to play some blackjack, expect to play some slots, and I could very easily win 500 at each blackjack and slots at this place. So I'm going to give it a good run through here and make the most money possible, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, I am back. That was some insanity in there. I walked in and started looking at machines right away. Saw a couple tiny plays, played those through, and I'm starting to see a bunch of people who have no clue what they're doing, checking machines. And then I'm also seeing other stuff that's in great position that's being left. So it's what a crazy day. I walked around, played some machines. I was only ahead about $14 when I went to play some blackjack. I've been yo-yoing the $100 range for a long time, up and down. So I go play blackjack. I'm back there for, I don't know, 40 minutes or so, and I do all right. I really don't ever really get down too far. I'm only down about 300 at my lowest, but I'm just kind of hanging out, you know, in limbo for a long time. When I first got to the table, the dealer had accidentally pushed a button for the card shuffler and started shuffling them again. So although it was a new shoe, I had to wait for the whole shuffle to happen. And then the pit boss comes over and starts having a conversation and all this stuff. I talked to the dealer. She's talking about what I'm buying people for Christmas and all these things. And I'm ready to get down to business. She's a nice dealer, but, you know, her and the pit boss, he's a nice guy, but I really don't want to talk right now. I'm a little behind on my schedule, and I want to play. So finally get started playing, and I'm hanging around zero for a very long time. Like I said, at my lowest, I was down about 300. At my highest, I was up 700, and just back and forth. And finally, I got tired of all that. And when I got back to plus 700 again, and I had a negative count, I thought this would be a decent time to get up. So I got up, started walking around, cashed out my chips, went back, looked at some slots again. I actually counted the tables and did all my updates for BJ21. And I found one other machine to play. Now, this machine was borderline, right? So it's borderline, and it's got 3 jackpots. So I'm going for jackpot A, and it's borderline because jackpot B is almost borderline, if that makes sense. They all rise at the same time at different rates, and what one makes the other one a value. So I end up hitting a different jackpot than what I was going for, which made my jackpot irrelevant at that point. So I ended up having to walk away from it. And I knew people would jump on that immediately because it looks like such a good play when it's not. But when I left, by the time I walked out of that area, I turned around and looked back, and there was already someone playing it. I came back around when I was leaving to check on it, and he was still playing it, putting in more money. And that's what happens lots of times. You know, it'll have a big payout. That's not a scheduled payout like that on a jackpot. So a different jackpot will pop, and at this point, 2 of the 3 jackpots on that machine had just popped. So the third one was, although yes, normally that number would have been good, you know, must hit buys and things like that. Once you get to a certain figure, it's good because the ones under it are supposed to be popping along the way. But when those are already reset, then it's no longer a value, and that's what happened here. I ended up walking away plus 224 on the slots, plus 700 on the blackjack. I counted 9 6-to-5 tables at this place. Insane. And 75% of the tables were hit 17, so not very good. Anyway, right now I just pulled into the next spot. I'm going to go in there and beat their butt a little bit, and then I'll be back and let you know how much I robbed them for. Alright guys, I am back. I was in there a lot longer than I was hoping. It's putting me even further behind schedule here, but I walked in, I saw a friend of mine playing slots, doing his normal stupid stuff that he shouldn't be doing, and talked to him for a few minutes. And he doesn't understand. He knows a few things, but he doesn't get it. But he tells me how he doesn't understand how I can play tables and win. That, you know, it's stacked against you and stuff. That actually reminds me of something. Earlier today, I was at a casino that said that, did you know that the casino has the advantage on all games in the casino? I'll have to take a picture of that next time I see it, but that was interesting to see. I did play some blackjack, hung around for a little while at this table, and then another guy came and I played alongside him for a while, and finally ended up leaving ahead 700. So I played that, looked around to other stuff, didn't really see anything, talked to a few pit bosses I know, getting very friendly with a lot of pit bosses in these places. I've been coming here, whatever it is, almost 3 years, and no backoffs. And I pretty much know everybody around, and my longevity is just ridiculous. I'm so happy that I've been able to make it this long, because otherwise I would have to leave home for long periods of time, and I'd rather not do that. So anyway, right now I am moving on to another spot, and we'll see what happens there. But so far it's been a rocky day, but overall in a good direction. So I'm letting you go for now, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, one other thing I wanted to mention. I've been wanting to mention this for a while. I believe it was Sunday, maybe. I was playing Sunday or Monday. I can't recall, but I was playing, and I was at this table. I had an ace 6 against a dealer 10. Ace 6 against a dealer 10, and I hit it, and I get another ace. So now I've got a soft 18 against a dealer 10. I hit that, and I get a 5 for a 13, and another ace for a 14, and a 6 for a 20. So ace 6, ace 5, ace 6, and the dealer gets a 21. So, you know, you think you accomplished something. You got this beautiful hand, ace 6, ace 5, ace 6, and you're so excited about it. And then the dealer turns over like a 4. You're feeling great, 10-4, and then pulled an ace and a 5, and you're like, how on earth did this happen? Look at all these aces, and it's just so crazy. But yeah, I thought I'd mention that. You know, that, and I've never had that hand before, but that I can recall. But I've had the dealer on a stay soft 17 table get ace 5. I hate that. You know, with a 5 up, turns over an ace, and you've got a 6 you're sitting on, or a 16 you're sitting on. And one of the ones I hate also is the dealer getting a 5 ace 5. Gosh, I hate that hand too. But anyway, beautiful day outside right now. We're up to a balmy 46 degrees. 46? Wow, it's like warm outside right now. You don't need a coat or anything. Moving on to the next spot. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So I go into the next place, and I go through my normal rounds, and I'm starting to see now, every evening this place is always getting busy. So it doesn't even have to be 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you know, 4:30, whatever. It's busy. So I walk in. One of the first machines that I check, there's a guy and a lady sitting at it, and they're talking kind of weird to each other. It sounds weird, so you know, I don't think much of it. I check all the other stuff. I go around. I played a lot of stuff, and a lot of long plays that ended up nowhere. And when I was done, I got a phone call I was going to have to go outside for, so I was getting ready to leave, and I see a friend of mine, and he says hi, and he waves me over, and he waves me over to this couple. They're sitting at this machine, and they get up, they like jump up, and he sits down, and then he waves over to me to come over. At this point, I'm ahead like $34, and I'm ready to leave. You know, I've had enough. So he shows me this play on this machine, and I'm like, yeah, I saw that. When I walked in, I saw that they had it, and the guy was talking to the girl, but they were talking weird. I couldn't understand what they were talking about. It turns out that they're both deaf, and they'd been waiting like that whole 35-40 minutes that I'd been there for my friend to come over so he could play it. Well, my friend's always broke because he spends every penny he ever has. So I said, are you going to play it? And he said, you can have it. I said, okay, if it ends up good, I'll give you something. And so I played it through. Cost me about, it was a dollar a play. Cost me about $50 to hit it. And it paid about $130. So I ended up ahead almost exactly $80. So generally, what I would do is give him maybe like 15 or 20%. But in this case, I decided to give him 25 and them 25%. And the reason for that is I want them to trust me, and I want them, when they see me, to be able to wave me over and give me the good plays. So by doing that, I kind of invested in myself in the future, so that if these guys are ever around, then they would give me plays as well. So I'd never seen them before. And honestly, I kind of saw the play, and I thought it was an okay play, but not a great play. And then I noticed, I looked a little bit closer, and like I've been saying lately, sometimes there's some compensating factors, and there was something there. So I ended up playing it out. It took a lot longer than I expected, but it ended up working out. So I took care of that, went out to the car, made a couple phone calls, came back in, cashed out my voucher, ordered some food, got my food, left, and then started heading out. So right now it is dark outside, temperature is starting to fall, and that was a very exhausting experience. I left home a little bit later than I wanted to this morning, and I've been behind the whole day. I never really caught up. I made good money. I made a couple $1,000s, but I never really got into the groove, into the energy of what I was doing. I was always just trying to catch up, and tomorrow is going to be a very difficult day, because it's going to be the last day that I work this year, and they might be asking for a lot of help from me tomorrow. So they might even be asking me to be in the office, and I haven't really checked my email too much today. I checked it a couple times, but I don't see any emails that they asked for anything today. They said they would ask me if they had questions, but right now I see 3 tickets that are directed directly at me that they need help with. I can take care of those tonight, along with other stuff that I do. But I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do tomorrow. I had a plan for tomorrow. Now I may change things slightly. So I'm going to let you go for now, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I'm back. I had somebody email me that they wanted more information about, exactly what I'm eating and what I'm buying and things like that, how much I'm spending and my expenses and stuff like that. Well, I guess I'm probably a little ashamed to tell you today. Normally, when I go to this place and it's nighttime, they have a sushi place that's open. Generally, I will order 3 sushi rolls, which I know is a lot. But usually by the time I get there, I'm so starved, 3 sushi rolls is like nothing. It's gone in 5 or 7 minutes. And so today I got a little cocky and decided I wanted 4 sushi rolls. So that's about 6 pieces each, about 24 pieces. And I ate those. I gotta tell you, I shouldn't have had that much. Eating it in the dark, I didn't have a drink. I had to stop at a rest area to get a drink. But it was probably a little bit more than I should have. So going forward, I'll go back to 3. I know 3 is a lot too, but that's I like it, and I get pretty hungry by the time I get to that place, especially if it's already dark and I haven't eaten for a long time. I forgot to mention also, this morning I talked about a must-hit buy that I was watching, It was a $500 must hit buy, and it was about $10 away from being profitable EV wise. And I went back to it and I looked at it. Someone was on that machine this morning when I was leaving, and it was about, like I said, $10 away. Looks like they moved the needle, but not much. They only moved it about $2, which $2 on that machine is, I don't even want to do the calculation right now. I'm so tired. Over $1,000 in coin in on that machine. So I couldn't play it when I went back to it, but I was hoping that I could play it even at break even. I would have been okay with it. I just don't have the opportunities that I need for this casino anymore. As much volume as I give them, 95% of the volume I give them is off the record. They don't know who I am. So unfortunately, it looks like I'm going to have to give up my status. You get all kinds of free stuff and rooms and cruises and all this stuff, and I didn't use any of it last year anyway. I've got it right now if I want it, and I didn't use it, but it's nice to have that status in case you need it. So, for example, this morning when I went to cash in those coins, there was a long line, and normally I just stand in the regular line, but this time I stood in that shorter line, and I was able to get in right away. I was the only one in that line, and I was able to get service right away and save some time. So let's go back to talking about that couple. So there are a lot of people like that in casinos. A lot of wallflowers, if you understand what I mean by that. They just hang out there and stay out of the limelight, and they're just there, and they're making a few scraps here and there, and that's all they care about. And you can kind of tell when someone is pretending to have a little bit of money, but they don't. Like, all these people's apparel was all casino apparel. So they didn't really have regular clothes. They just had like casino shirt, casino jacket, all this stuff. They didn't look like they were very well off, and I kind of felt like $20 I gave them meant a lot to them. So I'm hoping in the future that I'll get more stuff from them. I think I've noticed them in the past, but kind of just like glossed over it because they've never presented themselves as important or someone that you're going to be competing with or anything like that. So I've never really thought of them that way. So I've kind of ignored them before. So now that I know who they are, I'll look for them. And just like with my friend who introduced me to them today, I may teach them a couple small things that they couldn't possibly handle by themselves. But if I'm around, they can direct them at me, and we can make money. So there's a lot of plays that I showed him that he can't play because they're way too expensive, but he would give to me every time. And he's even called me in the past for example, a $5,000 must hit buy, and it was just a little bit off, like $40 off. And I told him if it gets halfway there, just give me a call, and I'll start driving that direction. So it's nice to have those kinds of people around, and they're not troublemakers. They're not going to get kicked out of the casino or anything like that. So you got to be able to appreciate people like that and never look down on people. I always treat everybody equally. I always treat everyone terribly. I mean, everybody well. That's an old joke I used to tell. I hate everybody equally. They always got to treat everybody with respect, the way you'd want to be treated, and not expect to get anything back from them. And in the long run, you'll be better off, whether it's that you feel better or that you actually profit financially or emotionally or whatever it is. You always want to treat everybody the same. Right now, the temperature is about to drop into the 20s again. So I'm in the low 30s right now. It's just below freezing. I'm really getting close to being home. Thankfully, the roads are dry, and I'm going to get my trip planned out for tomorrow. I think I may do a last-minute change in my trip, do things a little bit differently than I expected to, and I think it'll be better weather-wise. So that's what's going on. What was the one other thing? I don't know. Anyway, for those of you who emailed me, I've now answered all the emails again. So if you didn't hear from me, then go ahead and email me back. If you have any questions or comments, it's mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.